I'm setting up this simple accounting system for my online business. And you don't need an accountant, or you don't have to learn a new accounting system to do it. And it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. But one thing you'd always want to do, if you don't want trouble, don't ask for it. And that's what we're going to learn in this one. Hey, I just want to show you that normally we get started on this kind of thing. You know, it's not that awful difficult to do this. But I just want to kind of show you the situation of what most people are used to. Is they got their job. And when they get paid, they have a checking account. Okay, in that checking account, they're paying their bills. They're paying the kids have to go out to soccer. They buy their groceries. They pay their rent. They pay their car insurance. They go out and have a good time at a movie. And kids get an allowance, and you know, it just goes right on with, you know, whatever life you got. Well, how do you keep track of your business? Even if you had a small business on the side, how do you keep track of everything? What's going on here is that you are commingling. And commingling in business is not good, especially if you're in the real estate business. If people get into trouble by commingling their clients' funds. In other words, somebody puts down money to go into an escrow, and they commingle that with their business. He wants his money back, and you don't have it because you spent it on business. You got a problem. That's why you never commingle money. It's the same thing right here. This will be a big mess if you're trying to run a business that way, because you're going to be spending money that you don't have when you should be doing stuff the right way with it. All right. Another thing is, what type of entity are you going to use? Now, with an entity, you are an entity. All right. You are a person, and what they call that in business is a sole proprietor. And I'm not going to try to spell that out for you, but you got a SO, sole proprietor, sole proprietor. You have an LLC, limited liability. Okay? You can have an S corporation. And most small businesses, they will do an S corporation because it doesn't have to be. The taxing is just kind of like being a sole proprietor. I'm not an attorney. I'm going to tell you that, but at the same point, I know a little bit about it, but I'm not going to go into the attorney aspect of it. I'm just going to briefly tell you what they are. And then, of course, you've got the corporation. All right? And the corporation is, you know, you've got shareholders and all that good stuff. And, of course, last but not least, you have a trust. The trust, I've dealt with trusts before. I've done with S corporations. I've done as a sole proprietor. But in this business, when you're first starting out, I wouldn't go to all the money of trying to get like a LLC right now, you know, $150, or, you know, you got to spend that money and get it right now. And then here you've got yourself all set up in that name. Supposing you don't like that name anymore. You've tried it for 6 months, and then here you spend $150. What I would do is I would start out as a sole proprietor, and then as the business takes off, then you can go out and get your LLC or your S Corp or your trust or whatever you're going to do as far as entities. And you should probably talk to your attorney about that when you're ready to do it. But now let's talk a little bit about the accounting thing. RTWCGO. All right. These are representatives of what we're going to call in our accounts. If you notice, a few days ago, maybe about a week ago, I went down to the bank and recorded that on a video for you all and picked up a bank account. Well, I didn't pick up just one bank account. I picked up 6 bank accounts. And the reason I did that is because each one of those bank accounts is represented by these letters. This first one is your receivables. I before E, except after C. All right? This gets 100%. Anything that's coming into your bank accounts to start out with, it's going to go into the receivable account, right? Just like it says. Receivable gets 100%. Okay? So I get paid this commission from this proprietor or from that seller, and I get paid so much commission from this seller, and I get paid so much from that seller. Okay, everything goes into the receivables. I might make a sale here, a sale there. Every sale goes to here. You set it up that way so it automatically goes into that account. This is where it starts out. The next one, representative of, Uncle Sam. Okay, he gets a little upset if you forget about him. And I'm not one that likes to pay taxes, but everybody, I guess, has to. So you got to figure out what you're going to do there. Some people might put in 25%, somebody might put in 30%. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to put 30% here. So 30% of what you make there goes into this account. All right, now the simple thing about these is you don't need a check for each one of them. You don't need to write a check from one account to another. What you can do is you can set it up online, and you can do bank transfers electronically with your laptop. Or maybe sometimes you can do it with your phone. And I prefer my laptop in my office. And you can just simply take and make, every time, maybe once a week or something like that, you take your 100% and you put it into your 30. 30% goes in here. This is a wealth account, W-E-A-L-T-H. Can you guess how much goes in there? If you guess 10%, that's true. That's what I do, and that's what I'm going to do. So if you put 10% there, you can put more in there or less. But 10% goes in your wealth account. Now that wealth account, that is more or less, can branch off into different things. You can have real estate. You can have crypto. It's such a little Y. I'm not the best speller either, so please forgive me. Crypto, you can have gold and silver. Or you can put some away in maybe stocks and bonds. Okay? You've got all kinds of different vehicles here that you can put money into. But it's going to be the 10%. You put it in that account, let it build up some. But what I would do, actually, I'd set myself about 6 months worth of income. If things get bad or something like that, you might want to have some cash laying around. That's the place to do it. You can leave the cash in your wealth account, let it build up for a while, let it build up. And let's say you get about 4 or 5 months worth of living expenses, like food and paying your electric bill and rent or whatever you pay each month. Let that build up in there for about 4 or 5 months, and then you can start saving up for this other stuff. And you're only going to do a little bit of investing at a time, and you know how it works. So that is your wealth account. Now this here is your charity account. And some people try to be a little, like a miser on that and not give very much. Well, then that pays for it, because I believe that if you give, you get back 10%. You get 10 times the amount that you gave back. Okay? The Bible talks about that. You can do that. You can help other people out. You can help the kids out at St. Jude. You can do anything. It's a great feeling to help people out. So if you give 10% to charity, that's a good amount. And you feel great. You go down and buy a bunch of canned goods and then give it to a shelter or something, or help others out, because they're not going to be well off as you are after you start doing this system, right? So you always want to think about charity, how you're going to pay back, how you're going to give back. You always want to give something to receive. All right, this is your general. Your general account is your household account, okay? This is where you pay yourself. And you want to pay yourself definitely out of this. So I would probably go, you need to go with at least 20%, right? You need to pay yourself. So you've got to pay yourself 20%, and that goes to your household stuff. This can be a personal account at your bank. This can be set up as a business account. This can be either a business or a personal account. And this, of course, you want that to be your business account. This here, this is a write-off also, usually with a business. So you'll want that as a business account. And of course, this one here will be your business account too. All right, this is your operations expense account. How much we got here? We got 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So that leaves 30% here. You're going to need 30% to operate your business. This could be your own education if you're buying something to learn how to do it. This could be paying for, your advertising. Everything that's to do with the business is to be done with the operations expense account. So 30, 20, 10, 10, 30, 100 equals 100%. And let me say again, as you receive money in here, I would say once a week, you drain this account to zero and you fill it up with all this. 30% goes here, 20% goes here, 10%. Like for instance, you got $1,000 this week. That'd be good. All right. 30% in taxes, that'd be $300. We put our dollar sign. And $100 in your wealth account, $100 in your charity account, 20% into your general account. That means you got $200 for your $1,000 worth of work there. I'm sorry, I was off the screen, I guess. $200 for your $1,000. Okay, $200 you get to go home with you. And then your operations would be $300. You're going to need that to run your business. Well, let's say that I'm getting up to my goal, okay, of $10,000 a month. Okay, $10,000 a month, we'll just add a zero. Okay, that would equal $3,000 a month for my taxes. That would equal $1,000 a month for my wealth account. That would be $1,000 a month to charity. Think how good you'd feel once you could just give $1,000 away to different charities that you enjoy giving to and helping people out, feeding other people. That's a great feeling. And then your general account, which you get to put in your personal account, would be $2,000. And in your operation expense account would be $3,000. So at the end of each week of working that, you'd be able to just take and empty this account out and fill up all these other ones. And then you'd use them accordingly. Now, to be able to get up here to this receivables account, I'm going to erase all this because we all know what all this is. To get yourself up to that $10,000 a month, okay, there's a 3-point system here that you're going to have to know. This is called mindset. Okay, you got a point there. Over here is your skill set. Skill set. And then over here, of course, if you've got a mindset and a skill set, you need a tool set. Now, can you guess which one is the most important? The one on the top, the mindset. There's things you're going to have to do in your mind to be able to make that kind of money. Because if you've got a mentality of, oh, woe is me, I don't have that kind of money to put out on that, and you're all bent out of shape because you got all these expenses you need to pay out, okay? The money's going to be there. It's going to come. You've got to set your mind to that. With the mindset here, this whole thing is based on you making this kind of money. If you've never made that kind of money, let's say if you're a $2,000 a month type of person and you're trying to raise yourself to $10,000 a month with the same mindset that you have at $2,000 a month, you'll never do it. You got to change your thinking. You got to change the way that you do things. Your attitude towards things change. Okay? So what you ought to do is down here in this operations part, when you do start making, you know, $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month up here, when you start seeing some money coming in, get into this operations part of it and take the expense out of learning how to change yourself to a different type of thinking. You hang out with different type of people. You listen to different types. You don't necessarily start out hanging out with them, but I mean, you just start listening to different types of people talking about their experiences and how they think when they're making this kind of money. And of course, you can get, you know, this amount is just only the beginning amount. If you're trying to make $20,000 a month, then you have to change your thinking again, don't you? So that's how you get started out with your mindset. Your mindset is a self-image of yourself. You look in the mirror, you see yourself as a certain way. But it's not really how you look, is it? It's what you think up here. The same thing here is. You gotta have a mindset of how you think. Then of course you got the skill set. Those are, you only need 3 things. 3 to be good at 3 things in the business. Everything else will get you all fumbled up and confused. You'll be spending 4 hours a day trying to figure out how to do something when somebody else knows how to do it. But if you're good at 3 things, 2 or 3 things, then that would be your skill set. The rest of the stuff you can farm out, especially the little, you know, non-essential things. They're essential, but I mean, they're not things that you need to be doing. You don't want to be doing a $5 an hour job when you're doing a $100 an hour job, right? You don't want to stop your $100 an hour to do a $5 an hour thing for a few days. You know what I'm saying? Does it make sense? So you increase your skill set for how much you want to make an hour. If you want to make $100, $200 an hour, then that's what you need your skill set at, rather than doing $5 an hour stuff, because you farm that out to somebody else that wants to do it for that. This is your tool set. Your tools are like your autoresponders, your website builders, anything that you need to get the job done. It could be searching out to see what people might be interested in. It might be learning how to do a quiz or something online, or going to give to your people so that you can find out what they want. It could be anything. Okay, that's your tool set. Skill set, tool set, mindset. Mindset, you're going to need to work on that right away. It's not going to be like tomorrow that you're going to be done with it, because it's a thing that takes time. But at any rate, I hope this helped you out, this video. I guess we can call this a wrap, I suppose. And I'll see you next time with another video on how I'm working and getting my business going here. But this is one thing I wanted to really push out and let you know what's been going on and how I've set things up. Maybe we'll do an over-the-shoulder. I'm going to build a squeeze page, or the next video is going to be exciting, I can tell you. And be sure to look for it, because it's coming. And don't forget to subscribe and like my videos. I appreciate it when you do stuff like that, and make a comment. Write a comment down there. If you ask a question, I'll get back to it. I'm looking at them, and ring the bell. Thank you.